Thank you for joining us for this week's weekly press conference with Long Beach State women's volleyball head coach Tyler Hildebrand. We'll open things up with a statement from Coach and then open it up for questions.
Thanks, Roger. It was a good week last week. We went 3-0, 3-0 again, and we don't have that many home games left, so it was nice to have a big crowd on Saturday night. There was almost 1,700 here, so once again, thanks to our community for coming out and supporting us. And yeah, the Irvine match was good because we lost 3-0 to them last year at their place. And our challenge last week was we've been playing well at home, and we need to play well on the road. So I think we got that on Thursday and a great win on Saturday. And as I said in the post game, it's great to have Fullerton here. There was a lot more Long Beach family people here because their whole staff are all alumni from this program, or the men's program with Sato. So, we've won our last 12 sets, it's good to play good volleyball over a long period of time, and we're doing a lot of things well, but our offense is starting to get better, and the work that we've put in is coming to fruition. And I think we've hit 12 sets in a row over 300. I think one of them was 297, but it sounds better if you say all 12. So that's a sign that we're getting better there, and so we got to bring it on the road again this week. We went 5 with Riverside last year, and we had a good fight, but didn't play great volleyball. And then Davis is having a great season, so we need to go up there and play well against them. So a normal week for us with a Thursday Saturday match, which means we went harder today, and we'll go hard tomorrow, and Wednesday we'll be light and travel Thursday. So.
Coach, you mentioned playing on the road as opposed to playing at home. How comfortable do you think your team is playing on the road now as opposed to previously?
I don't know if it's comfortable playing on the road or playing here. I mean, we've lost matches here too. Just we've seemed to put everything together a little bit better at home than we have on the road. But we've played well on the road. We've had a great match against UNO on the road where we won 3-0 against a good team that can challenge teams with their speed. And we went 9-1 in sets in Arizona in 3 matches. So it's more of a our theme right now is to the job's not done. We gotta we've had some matches where we haven't played as well as we wanted to on the road where we've won 21-9 the beach 21, 25-9 or been handling a team and then lose the next set or whatever the case may be. So we definitely feel a little bit more comfortable at home, as I think most teams do, and it's becoming more and more that way with the crowds that we have. I think we're still number 1 in California in terms of average attendance, and so their support means a lot to us. And so we just have to continue to build on this last 2 weeks. This last focus of ours, which is to bring the same level of accountability, focus, energy, whatever you want to call it, to the road. So this week will be a great test.
We've talked about before working on getting a little bit more used to medium system blocking. It seems like the team has been on a roll, but have you seen a little bit more improvement in that area?
Yeah, identifying when a team is in system and going with tempo or we're stressed, how we block versus when the ball gets off the net or outside the 10-foot line. Medium system and out of system is the same system for us blocking. We've made some good improvements on it over the last 2 to 3 weeks. We actually talked about that this morning in practice. That last week we regressed a little bit, I thought, in medium system and out of system blocking. I don't know if the total number of blocks measure up against that, but what we're trying to do, what we're trying to take, and how we're trying to block medium system out of system, we regressed a little bit, which is kind of natural. You focus on something and you're still training it, but once it's not a new thing, and then you do really well at it, which we did, I think, 2 weeks ago for sure. You think you got it, but then the old habit comes back. So we have a focus again to really focus on that. Blocking has been improving quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, but we got to be careful because we regressed a little bit, we thought there. And so all that it is making sure it's a focus for this week.
And then facing Riverside and Davis in the second round, what does your team need to do in order to make sure it doesn't fall into another trap? Because Davis is obviously going to want to improve its standing, and then Riverside is obviously hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, that term trap game is a normal term, and it's been said the last couple of weeks. And my honest opinion is, we're not at a place where we I don't think have earned the ability to have trap games. Obviously, we've proven that we can be a really, really good volleyball team and beat some really good teams. But maybe when we're making the tournament every year, going to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, stuff like that, and over time proving that, then we can talk about trap games. But I get it from the outside, with our record or whatever the case may be and who we've beaten. It seems like it'd be a trap game, but our conference is tough, and we know that every single match is going to present challenges. So I don't think of it as a trap game, but what we do is we do a hot wash, which is kind of a military term of a debrief. So after we play a team the first time through conference, we have our staff put in their debrief notes. We try to do that before we watch all the video and before we look at all of the stats or dive into it, because we want it to be like, hey, we thought this person was going to be a priority, or hey, we thought we were going to be able to expose this team blocking defense-wise with this type of offense, and it did or did not work, or we wanted to keep someone at bay by having them be a huge focus and it worked, or we wanted to and it didn't work, or we wanted to do them but somebody else went off against us. So these are things that we write in just kind of hot wash style right after the match or the day after the match of like, this is what it felt like during the match. So when we do our scout, we take our old scout, the scouting report, we take the debrief, and we look at all of that, and then we go watch the video of what has changed or what may not have changed, so that we can try to take as much information going into round two or whatever of the teams. And historically, there's been round one, round two, and this year there's going to be round three with some teams with the tournament.
Coach Katie Kennedy's been leading your offense and a lot of statistical categories as well lately. And fans that have followed Long Beach State, they've gotten to know Katie Kennedy for a while now. But can you talk about how she's grown, not only leading you guys statistically, but also leading you guys emotionally?
Yeah, Katie's one in a million as a person and a player, yeah, I've talked about her a lot, I think, but she's really special, and she's going to be incredibly successful in anything she does in life, and people gravitate towards her, and yeah, we're really gonna miss her next year, and she's gonna be around, I think, and she wants to do big things in life, and some of that might be with us or just even being around the program after she leaves and she plays, when she's done playing pro. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy she's healthy, because she went through one of her first kind of real injury issues, and it wasn't really an injury, but she's had some nagging stuff, and she's pretty healthy now. So that little 2 or 3 week stint where you could kind of tell, well, first of all, she was out, Ella was playing, and then you could tell that she was not full strength. Was a bummer, but she's full strength now, and I mean, she's hit, and I think our last 4 matches, she's hit 700, 600, and upper fives, and if she didn't get blocked on the last point, she would have been like 680 on Saturday too. So she's leading the conference by 115 points in hitting efficiency over Amber, and Natalie's right behind Amber. So really proud of her statistics there. Her blocking's getting better. She hasn't been on the top 10 in blocking until this week, and she had a lot of blocks last week, so I think she's 6th in blocking. So she's meant a lot, and we put a lot of stress on or pressure on our middles to to set up our offense, because if you're fast to the pins, it doesn't matter if you don't set your middles, or if you set your middles and they don't kill the ball. And Cam just jumped into the top 10 in hit efficiency this week as well. I think she's number 6. So Katie's hitting 510 and Cam's hitting 341. So that's helpful to our overall offense when those guys are killing their ball at an efficient rate.
And then, Coach, talk to us about the defense being led by Savannah Chacon in terms of digging, and then the blocking, which is also led by Kennedy and Bacon.
Yeah, defense is much improved. We've said it a little bit, or a number of times, I think. Our floor defense is much improved, and I think we've trained it better, and we did some things in the spring to add to how we train it. And everything takes time. I think one of the traps, to use that term, of coaching is you identify something you want to get better at, you work on it for a little bit, and then you stop working on it, or you work on it and put it in a drill, and you put it in a drill so the girls can be successful, and then that doesn't mirror what it's like in a real match, and the randomness of a match, or random training versus block training, whatever you want to call it. But when you ask players to learn at a rate where you're not giving them just super simple things, you're asking them to understand that every situation will be different in a game. The live play is not a perfect drill, and we have to be good at all things that come at us, which defensively, obviously, you have to do that. It takes time to do that, because at first you're confused and there's gray and you don't understand and you want a simple answer to why you didn't dig that ball. And so, that's not how we coach. We play the long game on it. And so starting in the spring to this year, and we hammer defense every day. Even when we don't jump, we're doing 15, 20, 25 minutes of defense, floor defense every day. So that's been a big upgrade for us. And that allows us to work on transition offense, which we've been better at than every team we've played, except for I think we once or twice got out hit in trans. That's it all year. So that's the hallmark of our team right now. Our serving that turns into floor defense, that turns into transition offense.
Coach, you mentioned that the team's really on a roll, and you talked a little bit about Katie Kennedy. Is there anybody else in your mind that has stood out over the last 4 matches, either in how they're playing or how they've been affecting the team?
That's a trap question. No, it's a good question. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to point out some individuals. We definitely could have said Natalie, about a month and a half ago, where she went from, still trying to remember how good she was the first couple of weeks, and then she had COVID, and then things started to click, and she got a little bit better through the Nebraska and Arizona weekend, and then just kind of started going like this, and so. But that was 4 or 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. I think Savannah has she's made an adjustment to how she passes. We made a technique adjustment mid-season, which is typically not something that you want to do. It's a little risky, and it's something that's clicked for her. So she's improved her passing by a lot, and so. But, I think Abby's offensive weekend last weekend, her offense is starting to click. Abby's had some high efficiency games, some lower efficiency games. And for her, again, she's had a lot less time to train and learn in our system. Hannah, JJ, obviously, Elise, they have a lot more time. So Abby, I think, is starting to find some of that slow, gradual improvement. It's starting to click. She was incredible in practice today. So I don't know. I think everybody is improving, and that's what's cool. Is I've said it all year. It takes a lot for us to win points. A lot of things have to go right, and for us to be really good, a lot of our players have to kind of play well. We can carry 1 or 2 players having a bad game, but so I think it's more, Roger, of that everybody's starting to get a little bit better each week at whatever it is their focus is, and we're starting to gain some confidence.
Perfect. Do you have anything else to add, Coach?
No, I just want to say thanks again to our fans, our community, our marketing department, and everybody that's getting people to the games, our students. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure some people are aware or watched the Nebraska-Wisconsin match, which was, I think, the first time number 1 and number 2 have both been undefeated since like 1995 playing each other. It's only the 9th time since 2000 that 1 and 2 have played each other. They were both 18-0. Obviously, I watched it, and I talked to Coach Cook this morning for about 45 minutes. It was a great match, first of all. But, even then, with all of their attendance stuff, they broke another record in Devaney on Saturday. But they had 1,100 students, and that was the biggest student section they've ever had by a lot. And we've hit close to that a couple times, and then Texas we had 1,300 students. So I want to really thank the students for showing up and coming and giving us energy, and that's been one of the biggest differences in our attendance this year of the students. So we're just grateful that people, again, things take time. I've been saying this since I got the job. I want this community to come and be excited about this program again, and I've said it countless times. You two have heard me say that how many times, and so that is starting to little by little grow and grow. So we got 2 more at home before the tournament. So my ask is, come bring it for us, and let's see if we can stay number 1 in California in attendance. And we're going to need to. We're been around 1,500, 1,700. Let's see if we can get to 2,000 in those games, and that'll lock up the number 1. Will be the number 1 attended program in California, which will be a big deal.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.